guys, welcome back to Hike Oregon. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some Gregory Day Packs. Gregory is definitely my go-to day pack backpack brand. When I first started hiking, I had a wonderful REI brand day pack that I actually had used for college because I would bike to school, and so I needed a very sturdy backpack that I then used for hiking. It quickly wore out because I'd used it for so many years in school. After that, I was looking at some more REI day packs. However, I really liked the feature of the backpack including a little rain fly, which the old REI backpack did, and I absolutely loved it and thought it was super convenient. Unfortunately, REI no longer made their day packs with that little rain cover, so I strayed away from REI brand and checked out Gregory because Gregory is one of the brands that did have this feature. And living in Oregon here, especially in the Willamette Valley, for me that is super important because I get rained on quite a bit when I go hiking. So about 4 years ago, I purchased the Gregory Jade 28. This pack right here, I absolutely loved this pack, and I actually did wash it a few times. This backpack does have some metal stays in it right here, which actually you can remove from the inside. So when I washed this backpack, I would just remove the little metal frame and then I would wash it a few times. Over time, it became harder and harder to put the metal frame back in. When you put the metal back in, you have to kind of close it with this Velcro flap right here, and it just became harder and harder to get that closed because the Velcro was wearing out. So over time, it just wasn't working anymore for me. This pocket also became unstitched. The pockets in the older Gregory Jade are super small because nowadays they're making pockets to fit, you know, the larger iPhones or Samsung phones, and so it was getting a little annoying not being able to put my phone in my hip belt pocket. So then after this pack, I was actually at PCT days at the Gregory booth, and so what caught my eye was this beautiful Gregory Citro 25. It is 3 liters smaller. Purchasing this, I would have never thought that 3 liters would make such a big difference. Unfortunately, as I was putting all my stuff in there, I started noticing that a 25-liter pack for me with all my camera gear and such just isn't ideal, especially in the winter months and seasons where I have to take extra layers and all of that extra stuff. This is a great pack for summer, and I have carried it all summer long because it does work for summer when I don't have to carry a jacket, a rain jacket, gloves, a hat, a bandana, an extra underlayer, extra socks, and my camera gear. That all doesn't fit in here. This was my end of summer pack last year, and it's been my summer pack all summer this year, and I've absolutely loved it. It's a super sturdy pack here. I'll show you what it looks like here. There is quite a difference in the back here. The Jade backpack has a lot more mesh and more of a suspension system, whereas this kind of just has a little bit of mesh, a little bit of padding in the lower lumbar area, and then as you can see, the hip belts are barely anything. There's hardly any padding, which if you put stuff in the hip belt pockets and you are kind of thin, it does kind of hit your hip bone. So that's the only downside to this. But again, I don't carry this pack as heavy as the Gregory Jade because it is smaller and I just don't have as much stuff in it. So a lot of the time I won't even fasten the hip belt just to kind of remove that irritation on the hip bone. So that's kind of the only downside to this backpack, is that the hip belt doesn't have any padding. Other than that, I am absolutely in love with this pack. As you can see here, it has a stretchy mesh pocket out front here where you can put a piece of rain gear or your snacks or whatever you like basically, and it does unclip here too. You have a small pocket here That's usually where I put chapstick, my keys, my sunglasses, maybe a bandana. And then you have the main pocket. And then what I like about this is that it has an extra pocket for the water reservoir. So for your water bladder if you choose to carry one. So it's not in the main compartment, which I really like, because sometimes when I'm filling up my water bladder, it gets a little wet, and then you don't have to put it in your main compartment where you put all your other stuff. So that's nice. And then on each side, it has a super spacious, stretchy pocket, as you can see. So that is my Gregory Citro 25. I absolutely love this pack. It is comfortable. It works for me for the summer. However, I decided to go back to the Gregory Jade for winter because it is just more spacious. I did get a brand new Gregory Jade. They have made a lot of changes on the new Gregory Jade backpack. So I'm gonna show you that, and I'm also gonna kind of show you the difference between the new one and the old one, so you kind of know. If you're in the market for a new one, you kind of know what you are getting. So here is my brand new Gregory Jade backpack. Pretty much the same color as the other one. My other one was gray and, you know, like a purple. This one is gray with some blue accents. I will say the one thing that I do not like about the new version of the Gregory Jade is the material that they used on the shoulder straps. It is super scratchy, and I actually did try to wear this in the summer a little bit, but wearing a tank top and having this scratch my skin was absolutely irritating and painful. So I could not deal with that, and I switched back to my Citro. And that was totally fine because, like I said, I mainly got this for winter purposes anyway. During the summer, this is just too big. It's overkill. Now I'll put the attention on the backpack and kind of show you all of that. So as you can see here, this is the back of both backpacks. On this one, the new one, you can actually make the torso length different, which is amazing. This is a size medium, 16 to 20 inch, and this one is a medium as well. But it is nice because you can do some fine tuning with this by moving this up and down with the Velcro. So that's really, really cool. And you can see the suspension system is way different on this backpack than it is on this. It's way more simplistic here with the cushy lumbar support. I did really enjoy this aspect of the older version, but this is pretty squishy as well. Not quite as squishy, but it does have this super breathable back here. As you can see, it's awesome. And then the hip belts here have a nice mesh as well. And of course, you can see the pockets in comparison are just gigantic. I can fit my entire big iPhone in here versus these ones are tiny. They did also make the buckles bigger here. As you can see, these buckles are pretty small. This is pretty much the same except for the fabric that they used. But as far as thickness, it's all pretty much the same. You can see the front is pretty much the same as well. The only difference is that this was not mesh. This was the same material as the backpack, whereas now they make a stretchy, it's not super stretchy, it's semi-stretchy mesh pocket here. This pocket seems to be a lot bigger than this, again because this is supposed to be stretchy but it's not really, whereas the size of this kind of varied on how much you hold this in and out. That's different. The side pockets aren't different at all, and the inside is not different at all either. They both have this pocket here, and then they both have the inside pocket, like the main compartment, the water bladder compartment, and then a small pocket on the inside. I do like that they have the hook now, so you can hang your water bladder and it's not just sloshing around in this pocket. You can actually hang it up here, whereas here they only had this like tiny little thing. I actually usually hung my keys on this. I never hung my water bladder. So that is kind of a nice new new feature as well. And then I quickly wanted to show you the rain cover that I was talking about. This one had it too, but I took the rain cover out of this one and I put it inside my Citro backpack so that it would have a cover. So basically you just open this, you unclip this, and there is a zipper and you have a rain cover in there. It is super nice to just have that in there at all times, just made for this backpack exclusively, which is awesome. And it fits the backpack perfectly. It'll keep everything nice and dry. Some smaller changes that they made are like the zipper handles, like they all have plastic on them now, so they're easy to get a hold of, whereas on the older version it was just the nylon. Another little difference here is that the chest clip has a whistle on it, whereas here it did not. Just little tiny changes like that. The new one also has this loop here where you can put, either if you're hiking with an ice axe or your trekking poles and you want to put them away, you can put that through there. I usually clip my Garmin GPS, my Mini, in there. This one had nothing like that. It just had these straps. So there are definitely some upgrades, some perks with the new version. Most of the things I really like that they did. Like I said, the only thing that bothered me was the material of this. And I don't know if the more you wear it, if it gets softer. I just couldn't handle it on my sensitive arm skin, especially because, you know, if you're wearing a tank top, this does touch your armpit area, and that is pretty sensitive skin, so I just could not handle that. But now I will wear this backpack all the time now that it is t-shirt and long sleeve weather, because it is fall and winter and it's getting really cold. So this is going to be my go-to backpack for hiking in the fall and winter, and of course for snowshoeing as well. So I hope you liked this really quick overview of some of the Gregory backpacks that I personally love. Gregory makes a bunch of day hiking backpacks of all different sizes. Actually, the Jade backpack comes in multiple different sizes, the smallest one being the 28 liter. They make a 38 liter, a 53 liter, and a 68 liter as well from that Jade design. So right now on the REI website, Gregory has the older version, which is actually not quite as old as mine, but most of the features are the same. But the older version is on the REI outlet website for $104, and that is a super deal for one of these backpacks. I highly recommend. If you're looking for a day pack that will serve you for years and years, go out and get that. It's absolutely fantastic. And then of course the brand new version from REI is $149.95, so $150. So you'd be saving around $50 if you got the little bit older version. Of course, every year backpack companies make changes to their backpacks, and therefore the older versions are always on sale. So if you're on a budget, definitely take advantage of that. And if you're interested in the Gregory Citro, they have it at REI on the website in blue only, but it's $129.95. Or if you want to go to the Gregory website, they do have it in yellow like mine, or they have it in black as well. So super neutral color. The blue is kind of bright and a little obnoxious. The yellow is really awesome because it's more like a mustard yellow. It's not like a super bright neon yellow, and for some reason I really like it. I get a lot of compliments on how unique the yellow is, and for summer I just love the yellow. But again, they have it in black as well for $129. None of these Gregory backpacks come with the hydration bladder. I know a lot of backpack companies like Osprey and some of the REI bags do come with the water bladder already in it. That can be a huge savings if you needed to get the water bladder as well. So if you're in that kind of situation, I would check out some Osprey bags. I personally only have experience with Osprey backpacking backpacks, and they're absolutely amazing as well. I can link my backpack review right here if you're interested. And then of course the REI day packs are absolutely phenomenal as well, and usually a little bit cheaper than some of the name brands like Gregory or Osprey, and usually a lot of them come with the hydration bladder as well. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about day packs since this video was highly requested. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about day packs or these specific packs that I talked about today, just comment below and I will make sure to answer your question. Go check me out over on Instagram. That's where I post all of my pictures from day hikes and recent backpacking trips. And if you're interested in hiking or backpacking here in this wonderful state of Oregon, check out my website, hikeoregon.net. That's where you'll find tons of that information. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.